It sits at the mouth of Charleston Harbor. There's Charleston Harbor sort of opens up to the Atlantic Ocean, and there's this tiny little island that sits right in the center of the harbor. So it has a strategic position. It's the perfect place to mount some guns and knock off any ships coming into Charleston Harbor. And that's why South Carolina, you can't just let the Union Army control Fort Sumner. It controls the entrance to the entire harbor. And so they basically start shutting. This is where the Civil War begins. Lincoln is basically saying, I'm not going to fire the first shot, and he sends down and they've blockaded this Fort Sumner, and he's going to send a supply ship down there, and the South Carolina, basically artillery opens up fire and forces them to surrender. And those are the first shots of the Civil War. It's inconceivable to me that you're going to be asked questions about military history. Nevertheless, it's a war. And I have to, from your own just general, cultural literacy, talking about the Civil War, I have to talk about a few things. It's beyond my conception that they're going to ask you a question about the Merrimack and the Monitor. But I have to at least spend a minute. The Civil War is basically this naval blockade as part of the strategy. And during the Civil War, they designed 2 ironclads. Now, this is the end. This is the beginning of the end for wooden ships. This is a revolution in naval architecture. We aren't going to see anything really happen in this revolution until, the Spanish-American War or World War I, when we have the dreadnoughts and the big battleships. But this is the beginning where the wooden ships are going out, and the new iron or steel ships are coming in. And these ships these basically fight a little battle to a draw. They basically shoot a bunch of cannonballs which bounce off each other. Makes it very uncomfortable for both of them, but nobody really gets sunk. But they do sink some wooden ships. And this Monitor here is the first time on a modern battleship, you'll notice they have these guns that swivel on these turrets. And this is where that is invented. So the original turret design. Once again, the chances of that question being on an AP U.S. history test are infinitesimally small. No one would dare ask you that, or they would be ridiculed. Nevertheless, I think it's very interesting. You might get a question about the Anaconda Plan, but I think those questions are not going to happen anymore.
How come?
It's too specific here, and they just don't ask questions about military history. College Board and Advanced Placement, they worry about causes and they worry about consequences of war. They don't worry about